Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Raw review. This Raw was Okay, I'm gonna give them credit. They tried. They have Survivor Series coming up to do the cross promotion matches, this invasion angle. A company invading itself with two separate brands. I get the concept of having a Raw and a Smackdown brand like clashing together. But I don't know. I'll get to that a little bit later on. So we start off with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's making a bunch of matches. We're going to see the U.S. champ versus the IC champ, the women's champions colliding. And we're going to also see, I guess they're going to wait on the AJ thing. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Kurt Angle says Jinder Mahal. And I couldn't stop laughing. It's hilarious. And the funniest thing about it is it's harmless. It's funny. He said the guy's name wrong. He doesn't know what the guy's name is. And Wade Keller is saying that it makes the guy look... He went on the scathing rant. I implore everybody to go check out PW Torch and check out Wade Keller's report on the show. He writes this whole paragraph out about how Kurt Angle is like he butchered his name. It's almost like he didn't watch the show. The fans are going to, notice this. They're going to pick up on it. And it's going to be a huge turnoff. Where does he get all that from? Like, does he think that people watch this show, like, looking for mistakes? Like, people watch this show, aside from the smarks, looking to be entertained. And if they're not entertained, they're going to turn off the channel. Do people, like, realize that? Like, people don't watch The Walking Dead, like, looking for mistakes. And, like, maybe if Rick one day pronounces one of the characters' names wrong. Like, that's just, like, such a fucking nitpick and making a little, like, molehill into a motherfucking mountain. I mean, you've got to be joking here. Like, you can't make such a big deal out of such a small thing. You like Kurt Angle, you want to take a shot at Kurt Angle because he said a fucking name wrong. Get the fuck out of here already with that bullshit. So Mahal is going to wrestle Brock Lesnar. I don't know, this champion versus champion thing, the way how they've built up Mahal, it just doesn't seem like a fitting match. Like, you guys know that I put the guy over time and time again. But quite honestly, it's like he has to be out there with the Singh brothers. Most people are just, I don't know. They'll buy this from, like, a standpoint of, like, how these guys look. But aside from that, like, if you look at their past and how they book these guys, it's kind of like a no contest, really, to be honest. The Miz came out, was telling Kurt Angle he should have did the right thing last night. He should have stayed out of it. We get a 6-man tag. It's AJ Styles staying over from SmackDown. He's going to be on Raw. He's not switching brands. But you know what's, like, really funny about this? So here's AJ. Kurt Angle was a part of the Shield last night. He goes and he finds AJ to be a part of the Shield tonight. Okay, so keep that in mind. So they beat The Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro. They lose again. KANE comes out, choke slams, everybody. They get out of the ring. KANE cut a pretty decent promo here, saying that, he stood by and saw that Strowman was, being the monster. He was destroying Roman Reigns. And he says that he's the one true monster. Finn Balor comes out. Gets in the ring. Nails a couple of kicks. KANE picks him up. Choke slam. Picks him up again. Choke slam. Picks him up again. Choke slam. 3 fucking choke slams in the fucking row. Pinned him. 1, 2, 3. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. And I'm looking at Wade Keller. This is a big step back. What are they doing? This doesn't benefit anybody. You guys thought because you got your little Japanese match there, right? Your little dream match, your little wet dream match. You thought that that was it. You thought, oh, well, Finn Balor is going to make it to the big time. He's going to be a multi-time champion. This guy ain't going nowhere, folks. The only thing that keeps him afloat is you doofuses on the fucking internet. That's the only reason he's there. Aside from that, they have no plans at making this guy a world champion. And those rumors about him facing Brock Lesnar, I don't think that that's going to fucking happen, to be quite honest. No one's going to buy it. If he's getting in the ring with KANE here, and they're destroying his ass right here, and he's getting his ass squashed, what the fuck does that tell you? Does that tell you that he's going to be going on for a world title shot? No, this guy, that's it. They gave you a little match. That's it. It's gone. I don't see Finn Balor really. Watch this be the end of Balor. Bray Wyatt's there with no feud, because of the meningitis shit, which by the way is pretty serious. So these guys might be out for a while they try to contain, that virus from spreading. So without Bray to entertain us, what are we going to have? The line starts behind me, and I know what I have to do. I've got my demons. That's not going to be enough, folks. That's not going to be enough to get this guy over, honestly. That's why they decided to do the smart thing and have KANE destroy him and look strong. And KANE looked good. For the first time in years, I was excited for KANE again here. So this part of the show actually was pretty good for me. I was enjoying it. Shane McMahon meets up with Kurt Angle backstage. Shane McMahon compliments Kurt Angle on the match last night. Says he'll catch up with him later. Asuka and Emma wrestle again. Like, honestly, like, fucking again. Did we really need to watch this fucking again? We're doing this again? For fuck's sakes. How many more times are we supposed to watch this? We just fucking saw it. And they're going to give it to us again? Okay, Emma once again looked good against Asuka. And here's the weird thing. Why are these matches so fucking competitive? Like, Emma does nothing but lose up until she gets the chance to face Asuka. All of a sudden, it's like Asuka could barely beat her last night at the pay-per-view. Could barely beat her here. So it's like they want to make like she is like what the fuck's her name? The Empress of Tomorrow. She's this big deal with big vignettes. Why is it so hard for her to beat down the girl who's probably the lowest ranked woman on the roster? And just to think about it, like, how sad is it that Sasha Banks was relegated to the pre-show? Couldn't even get on the main show. Even when there were changes and they really didn't have anybody to book for this last-minute additions with Jason Jordan and Elias. And they couldn't even find the fucking spot to put her in. Sasha Banks, the boss. The one that everybody said, oh, she's so over with the crowd. Oh, really? Then why the hell wasn't she there last night? That's because she's not. I said it, the Smarks gave up on her. After like a year or so, like I said, the Smarks have ADD. They focus on one guy, and then it's It's on, like Jay-Z said, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. You know, it's just, that's how it goes. That's what happens when you listen to the IWC and the YWC. You get a bunch of bullshit. You know, you get people being pushed and then de-pushed within a moment's notice because these guys are not truly over. No, everyone's clicking past them on TV. No one is staying tuned to see the boss because there's nothing to the boss besides a bright colored weave. That's about it. Up next, you had Alexa Bliss cutting a promo, and she did a good job here. The same thing, I see she took a page from Enzo's book. She was telling the crowd to, you deserve it. And I am so fucking happy that McMahon finally got the balls here to throw it back in their faces. They used to make fun of the crowd years back. They were doing it. And then they got cold feet because they're like, oh, we have to start catering to the New Japan IWC crowd. So they didn't want to, like, knock the fans for a while. But now it's time that this is awesome. That you deserve it. All these motherfuckers should be mocked because they sound fucking ridiculous. And I'm so happy she implemented that into her promo. Mickie James came out. She gave her the DDT and then told her, you do deserve it. I like that. I like that promo. Good promo right there. Jason Jordan defeated Elias. Elias was having some technical problems. It was like alluded to that it was probably Jordan messing with like the electronics. I liked how Elias said he was going to drag the technician back from backstage into the ring and beat the hell out of him. Jordan won by DQ. Elias hit him with the guitar on the shoulder. You know, it's a nice way of like ending the match. I see they went back to this. I don't know, like, was that the same guitar? Why it looked like a smaller guitar for some reason. Anyway, you know, hitting the guy on the shoulder, I understand they don't want to do the concussion thing, but you know, it's probably it doesn't look as good as like hitting somebody over the head. You know, hitting them in the shoulder. I think maybe like hitting them in the upper back close to the head would probably look a little bit better than, you know, on the shoulder. Brock Lesnar was in the ring with Paul Heyman. Heyman, you know, they didn't really bury Jinder that bad here. But, like, you know, he said that the Singh brothers are trying to do his shtick, introducing him, that he doesn't have a chance. And sadly, this promo is correct. They are probably, you know, knowing them and they don't like to protect anybody nowadays, they are probably going to have Brock go over. It is pretty clear that when you watch the matches of these guys and how they've booked them on the shows, that they favor Brock more as a champion. And, you know, they shouldn't have this type of favoritism, but it is Brock Lesnar. So I can't see him losing to Jinder Mahal. It would be interesting, though, if some way, you know, they could have Jinder go over. But I don't know even if I'd want that, really, to be quite honest. You know, Brock Lesnar is a dominant champion. The thing is, whoever walks away, this is what I don't like about this match. Whoever walks away from these matches, and this goes for all the champion versus champion matches. Unless they could find some way creatively of having but the thing is, it's so many matches. Are you going to have DQs? Are you going to have run-ins for every single match? I mean, how are you going to protect these wrestlers? And they're going to, someone's going to lose. And in turn, that makes them look like the weaker champion. You're going to say the IC champion is superior to the US champion. So then we're going to sit there and we're going to have that memory. I know we don't even remember half this shit when it's over because it's so forgettable. But we're going to be sitting there for a couple of moments being like, okay, well, this champion is superior. So the other one is a fraud. Like Heyman said, like a pretender champion. And that's probably not a good idea to stress that point, especially when some people are not very keen on Jinder being champion. So I don't know about bringing it up. And here's the other thing. You have all of this. Where is Jinder? Like, how about some excitement? Jinder shows up and has a response right here. You know, since this is supposed to be show versus show, why not have Jinder there? And we're going to get to that a little bit later on. Alicia Fox defeated Sasha Banks and Bayley to become the team captain. I think this is a wise decision. I don't know if they're going to go through with it, but you have a chance for some very interesting TV here. Leading up to Survivor Series, so, you know, you could have Alicia talking strategy with the crazy gimmick. So this is really not a new gimmick. They tried this out in 2013. They barely gave Alicia a chance, and then they abandoned it. And then for some reason, they just made her go back into obscurity. And I never understood it because she was doing a good job. And she's doing an even better job now. You can see, like, this is somebody putting an effort here. She wants her spot. So she was really, like, you know, grabbing the bell, ringing the bell, the craziness, this thing she's saying during the match. She is trying to get herself over big time. And I mean, like, you know, Alicia Fox has been in this company for what's going to be very close to a decade. So it's about time that she start going into, that they, you know, not just her, because she is trying. It's not her fault, you know, most of the time. But, you know, WWE has this talent that obviously she's a talented girl. She may not be the best wrestler, but she's got charisma. And you see she's got the willingness to go out there and try new things. So you've got a flexible talent here that's ready to go. She's ready to do, you know, probably whatever the office asked her. So what I say is, you know, this is the time right here. And you could make some entertaining segments. Now, I know they're not very good at that, the entertainment. And they're not very good at writing comedy. But I say, let Alicia kind of have free reign here. You could have her, like, talking to Sasha and Bayley and whoever else they put on the team. And, you know, she could be giving these crazy pep talks that, like, maybe make no sense. Or, you know, and you could have interesting, you know, interactions. This is also a good time to finally get Bayley and Sasha over as well. And instead of doing the stupid, you know, fucking windy character thing in the beginning and, you know, sunglasses and knuckle dusters in the beginning, actually adding some, you know, alternate dimensions here, like some, you know, make these characters a bit more three-dimensional, fourth-dimensional, and start bringing them to life. Instead of having these flat characters that all they are their entrances. You know, now's the time. And you could use somebody like Alicia in these promos to not just motivate them from a storyline standpoint, but you could really motivate these people like from a fucking character standpoint and maybe help them out a bit to be a bit more charismatic and try to branch out a little bit and and finally get over, because it's enough. Sasha's really not doing anything, and it is a little bit, she's not really doing enough here. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing enough for her. And when she goes out there, like I said, you see effort with Alicia. Now, she's been given that spot. They're probably telling her to go out there and act like that. But wrestlers can do different things. Like I said, if a guy in the doghouse like Enzo could have his day, then people need to start taking cues from Enzo and Alicia Fox and even Roman Reigns and start really, like, motivating themselves to, like, improve and get better. Team Lucha defeated Team Zoe. So, you know, Enzo has completely lost his voice. So he had Drew Gulak, Captain Underpants, whatever the fuck you want to call him. You know, he did the promo for him. You know, Enzo then passed the mic and, you know, made them do the SAWFT thing, which was creative. Gulak tried doing like Enzo's promo scripted on a clipboard, like in a super proper voice. And I liked it. It wasn't perfect, but, you know, they tried a little bit here, is what I'm saying. There was effort. I'm seeing it. You know, they tried to be a little bit funny. You know, but these guys, you could tell, they're so wooden. You could just even tell the way how Noam Dar said S. Just, I mean, I know it's one letter, but I'm saying, like, these guys can only benefit from being on Team Zoe. Like, this should be the mission right here. Have Enzo work with these guys. And I know that, like, Enzo might not be as good of an in-ring worker maybe as some of these guys, but I'm just saying that from a charisma standpoint, he could help them so much. You know, and you can see it. Just him being there, kind of feed off his energy. It might get these guys, you know, because you see at the pay-per-view when these guys come out, you know, like they get no reaction. So maybe standing next to Enzo, you know, they'll hear the crowd. They'll get a bit, you know, when the wrestlers hear the crowd, it fuels their adrenaline. They're going to start performing better. And I kind of saw it a little bit here. Enzo takes the pin here. They're going to, you know, from Kalisto, they're going to have a match on 205 Live. You know, once again, it was spot. Michael Cole tells us this is amazing. It's unbelievable, even though we've seen this shit 100 times. Then it was time for Team Smackdown to invade Raw. And, you know, here's the thing, like, what's so funny about it. So they went backstage. They beat up Titus. The Divas beat up the Raw Divas. They went through the whole building. And this was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. You know, I said, like, the show was a bit. But, like, running through the show, it really wasn't that bad. I saw effort and everything. So it was like, okay. You know, once again, like I said, this show just, it has a lot of meaningless fluff. But, you know, at the end, like, you got to see a lot of brawling. It was kind of cool. But it's like AJ's back there. And I like the part where Rollins and Dean were waiting and then they just kind of jump on Team SmackDown. But AJ starts pounding away on Ambrose. And I'm just... Didn't they team together? Just at the beginning of the show, didn't they team against Miz and Sheamus and Cesaro? And here you have Dean Ambrose getting beat down by the same guy that he just teamed with. But, oh, now we're Team SmackDown. And the thing is, like, why is Team SmackDown, like, kind of like the heel team being the aggressors? Like, I guess, you know, they want to have a face team and they want to have a heel team. I understand that. But it's kind of like, what is their motivation? Like, besides, like, wanting to show their dominance, is it really, like, that important? Like, they're the same company. Is it really that, like, big of a deal? It's not like this was ECW or WCW invading. Like, it's the same company. And that is kind of like, you really have to suspend your disbelief a little bit too much there. It's like, because Shane McMahon is a baby face. He's showing that he's a baby face all these weeks. And then all of a sudden they just want to attack him. And I didn't like how they dragged Kurt Angle out to the ring. Like, it just made him look weak. Like, he didn't want to fight back. Here, this guy is fighting against 5 guys last night. And I know this is like 20 guys. But still, it would have been nice to see Kurt Angle go down in a blaze of glory. Like, he couldn't even at least get in a couple of punches or a couple of angle slams, get somebody in an ankle lock for a couple of seconds. I'm just saying. So, then the show goes off the air and they leave. And that's about it. And, like, okay, so that was like a very long way to end the show. But it was a bit of excitement. It did go on for a little bit too long. It would have been, you know, I like that they went around backstage and they toured it in a way. And they don't do it that often, so I guess we could give them a pass. But It was an alright show. Like I said, you had a couple of things on here. I liked KANE. I can't even remember what else I liked. I liked KANE. I liked Alicia Fox. The Enzo thing with Team Zoe was a little bit creative. They got around Enzo not being able to talk because of his voice. And, like, the end was okay. So, like, not a bad show. I can't knock it that bad. It was a joy to finally see all the smarts probably crying their eyes out because what are they doing to BALOR? They just had a great match. So happy to see that, folks. Anyway, motherfuckers, there you go. There's your Raw review. This has been your YWC champ signing out.